Have you ever wondered how a chicken barn goes from this to this? How do 20,000 chicks get put into a barn in less than 15 minutes? This morning, the farm crew at the University of Arkansas Research Farm in Savoy, Arkansas, are placing approximately 80,000 chicks in the 4 chicken houses on site. Here's how it's done. The barns are prepared by heating the space 2 days in advance with propane heaters to provide warmth not just from above, but also to ensure the litter beneath the chicks is warm. A white paper is spread out underneath the length of the water lines. Every time a chick steps onto the white paper, it causes a crinkling sound. The more chicks that come for a drink, the more crinkling sound is made, and the more excited the chicks get to start drinking from the water. The water in the water lines is also heated so that it is lukewarm and comfortable to the chicks. A heated truck, which came straight from the hatchery this morning, arrives with the 80,000 chicks. These chicks hatch within the last 12 hours and are dry, fluffy, and ready for their placement in the barn. It's a chilly morning, therefore to minimize the stress of going from warmth to cool and back into warm, there are 2 guys loading the forklift. One drives the forklift, picks up the pallet of chicks, and then drives them over to the barn. The other guy opens the door to the semi-trailer just as the forklift arrives in front of it to pick up the chicks and closes the door immediately after the chicks are loaded. This keeps the warm air in and the chilly air out. Inside the barn, only half of it is used for the chicks in the beginning. A large curtain is dropped from the ceiling to keep the chicks in one half of the barn, to cut down on energy costs, and to control the temperature easier. Chicks don't need the whole barn at this stage, and it's a lot easier to heat only half of a building. In a week or more, the curtain will be lifted, and the entire barn will be used to house the fast-growing chicks. Workers stand on either side of the forklift, grab a crate of chicks, and place them on the litter. Each crate holds 100 chicks. The bedding is deep and makes for a soft landing pad. The goal is to dump the chicks as close to the ground to minimize impact and stress. It is in slow motion. The chicks are very light and can easily right themselves, much like a cat or kitten when they fall out of a tree. You can see the toss doesn't disturb the chicks for very long. They quickly right themselves and start happily peeping again. Here's another view of the chick placing. You can see how quickly it's done. Each house only takes 9 to 13 minutes to unload all 20,000 chicks into it. crates are stacked and arranged on the forklift. The forklift will then deposit them outside near the truck and pick up the next load of chicks. This routine will be repeated twice per barn. Since there are 4 barns on site, they will unload 8 rounds of chicks, totaling 80,000 birds. It'll take just under an hour to place all of the chicks. Within a handful of minutes of being placed, the chicks will begin spreading out and exploring their new environment. They'll grow to market size in 6 weeks. Then, the barn will sit vacant for 2 to 4 weeks. It'll take 3 to 4 days to get the barn prepped for another flock of chickens, and they'll be placed the same way you saw today. An efficient way to place the chicks and begin the next round of chickens.